Salute wrestling friends and welcome to the Figure 4 TV. Hit that like button because today we're going to talk about the recent interview between Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman on the Busted Open podcast, where Roman Reigns explained exactly why he is better than everybody in the WWE. And guys, you know Roman Reigns was strategy. He strategically plotted his way to the top. And we're going to go over a couple of his key moves that he made en route to his success today, guys. So let's get that started.
And Sam, we're joined by royalty right now here on Busted Open. The head of the table, the genius of pro wrestling, Mr. Roman Reigns and Mr. Paul Heyman.
Welcome, guys. Thank you, first of all, for being generous with your time on a day like today. Roman, it's the 2025 Royal Rumble. I think that we're all reflecting on everything, especially with 2K25, that the Bloodline has done in the last 4 years. But when you think about your entire career, I have to imagine that on a day like today, you're thinking about 10 years ago and the 2015 Royal Rumble and what a completely different scenario that we're in tonight.
Oh, it's night and day.
Yeah.
10 years ago, I think it was the first time I met you. We were doing hot oil pizzas. What's that place called?
Colony in Stamford.
That's it, Colony
That's
Pizza.
the place.
We were talking about that last night. I was telling him that was the first time I met you. Yeah, man, it's completely different. You know, the body of work speaks for itself, and I think it's just a testament. If you just keep your head down and you keep grinding, you keep pushing towards the goal that you've set for yourself, anything is possible. You put a wise man on your hip and it'll be all right too, you know.
And I've never said this before, but that night when we had pizza at Colony, I left and I told my wife, man, if they would just let him be that guy that we were just hanging with.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And you became that guy. And
it takes time.
And then some.
Like anything, you gotta get your feet wet. You got to get comfortable in that water, and you got to get used to the temperature, and you got to get yourself set up to where you can make these type of critical decisions and take a stand if you need to. It was just a completely different situation back then, but we've corrected everything.
Now, in my opinion, when Roman Reigns shredded the rest of that Shield character of his, when he got rid of the entrance music and when he got rid of the attire, that's when he took off. Then when he added Paul Heyman, it was up from there. Paul Heyman was the last piece of the puzzle, but he had to do a few things before he could add Paul Heyman to the puzzle. And Drew Mack was spot on when he was talking to Paul Heyman at the Go Home show, the Royal Rumble on SmackDown, when he told Paul Heyman that he is the daddy of the Bloodline. And let's see what he was talking about.
You should love me because I am responsible for all of this success you're having right now. Confused? You might care about this because I've something I've got to admit right now. It pains me and it wasn't intentional, but I am the daddy of the Bloodline. I went to the main event of WrestleMania where I slayed the beast and won the world title. Your client, he sent you out to sea.
McIntyre eliminates Lesnar.
You like to tell everybody that Roman rescued you from obscurity, but no, you're a smart man. You're the smartest man in this industry. You swam back to shore, metaphorically, of course, found Roman at a low time, got in his ear, harnessed all of his talent for evil, and you went on this run, the greatest run of your life. The Bloodline took over, more moments than you've ever had, more money than you've ever made. Look, Paul, you're on the damn video game now.
You know, Roman, it all comes back to family for everyone. Your family, the foundation of this company. But then you see what you've achieved over the last decade and what you achieved over these last few years. and now being at the head of the table with the history behind your family and this company and all of pro wrestling. How does that make you feel knowing that what your family has accomplished all these years, but you're the guy, you're the one sitting at the head of the table?
I'm proud of it, but I'm the guy for the job. I'm the one in this family that's meant to be here and be in this position to bridge us. My father and my uncle, the twins' father, Rikishi, amongst many other cousins that I have in our family, they set that foundation for us to be able to build up. They made it a very sturdy, beautiful, concrete foundation for us to where there's no slipping. We put our feet down on this mat and we build up, and there's no problems. And we have to give them, those accolades. We have to give them that love. Because without them, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. So for me, it's all about that representation. It's all about being able to showcase my legacy and then also push it higher. I want to make it bigger and better. I want more money. I want more accolades. I want more recognition. I want more respect for my family.
We talk about the Bloodline story, and Paul, you've talked about stories and starting at the end and then working your way backwards over the course of years. I heard you talking about it on Logan Paul's podcast. But the thing that, to me, is the most unique about the Bloodline story is it's not just about your bloodline. If you look over the course of everything going on in WWE right now, whether it's Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, whether it's Drew McIntyre, whether it's Sami Zayn, whether it's all these stars, everything traces back to the bloodline.
It's true.
Is there an end to this story, or is the bloodline ultimately the story of modern day WWE?
Now, in my opinion, Paul Heyman is key to the Bloodline storyline, and he key to the whole thing, bro, because when CM Punk cash in his favor, that is when the Bloodline storyline is going to be totally total. That's when it's over. Paul Heyman from the jump been the key piece to this whole storyline. Remember, Paul Heyman was Brock Lesnar's advocate, and Roman Reigns took him from Brock Lesnar. And if you know anything about karma, how you get him is how you lose him. So the fact that Roman stole Paul Heyman will be the same reason why CM Punk ended up stealing Paul Heyman from Roman. And that will be the end of the Bloodline storyline. So let's take a look at how Paul Heyman was won over by Roman Reigns.
Of all the championships that we can go after together, why the Universal title?
I got a question for you, Paul. Why didn't you tell Roman I was going to be at SummerSlam?
I didn't know. My tribal chief, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Brock's having the time of his life right now. You know what to do with it! Reigns has the title, and Reigns using the championship! Reigns retains!
I want you to acknowledge me with the truth. Why are you protecting Brock Lesnar from me?
I'm not protecting Brock Lesnar from you. I'm protecting you from Brock Lesnar.
I love you, wise man.
I love you too, my tribal chief.
And I thank you for your honesty. And I thank you for 40 years of service to my family. And you're fired.
Oh my God! What the hell? Roman Reigns! If looks could kill, Paul Heyman would be a dead man. What in the hell? Lesnar is down. And Reigns with another spear. And
I think there's so much meat left on the bone. And there's just so many different ways to go. And I've only given X amount. There's so many more layers for me to be able to showcase. There's so many layers for someone, like Jay or Jimmy or Solo or Jacob or Tama. We have so many great characters for the Wise Man. There's so many more layers to be able to showcase. And we're all in our prime. I'm in the best shape of my life. Wise Man is getting into the best shape of. We're living forever.
Slowly.
We don't,
but surely.
That's right.
That's how you do it.
Turtle race. That's right.
That's right.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where I think we can do this forever. I really do. A lot of people were like, third inning. That was a game one. This is a 7-game series, baby. And I'm not trying to bring up these analogies to, like pinpoint timelines and stuff, but that's me saying confidently, I can run this thing for 2 more years, no problem.
Wow. Mr. Heyman, I have to take this opportunity to thank you, because hosting Busted Open every day, and we're live 7 days a week now, with the people that we have on this show, I hear your words repeated through the host that I work with and what you have taught the people that I work with. What you're doing right now currently in the WWE, this company, because of Roman, because of you, the biggest business this company has ever done. Do you take the time to realize the fact of, there you were standing next to Bill Apter taking photographs at the Meadowlands in New Jersey, and here you are probably being the smartest man alive when it comes to professional wrestling.
Well, the smartest man alive because I got next to Roman Reigns. Now, whether that situation was manipulated or whether just all the stars aligned, I hitched my wagon to the tribal chief Roman Reigns.
And Uncle Paul is always going to keep it real. That's what Drew McIntyre was alluding to when he said that he ran and he, after he beat Brock Lesnar to become the WWE champion, Paul Heyman tucked his tail and ran over there to Roman Reigns and manipulated Roman Reigns. That's exactly what Drew Mac was talking about.
What makes me the smartest man alive. If there's any credit to take, the credit to take is that I saw this coming, and my God, I jumped on it with both hands and have been holding on till my fingers are numb. The gravy train for the entire industry is sitting to my left. There has not been a star of this capability. There's not been a disruption of this magnitude in the history of the industry. Even how ECW shaped the 90s in some ways pales in comparison to what Roman Reigns brought to the table in August 2020, when the entire industry was in the doldrums of COVID, and the pandemic had a grip on all of television, and the programming that we were producing was still back in the days of, I'm going to rip off your head and piss down your neck.
Oh my God, what the hell? Roman Reigns is back! Reigns just speared the Fiend!
Believe that.
And then Roman Reigns saw not limitations, but opportunity to create an entire new genre. I can't tell you that the industry pre-August 2020 is the same industry as it is today. And I doubt that Netflix would have given us $5 billion for our programming for the way that it was in August 2020. No knock on how it was, but it plateaued. And then came a different vision. And that vision came from this man, not from me. I just assisted him in implementing it. But the credit goes to Roman Reigns.
There's an amazing degree of patience and confidence put into the way you guys tell stories together. And it's pretty remarkable because it adds a level of depth that pro wrestling hasn't had on a regular basis and maybe ever. Is there any part of you, Roman, as a human being, that when you're at home for a month, 2 months, whatever, and you see somebody else is getting hot, you see somebody else is starting to be, is there any part of you that goes, man, I got to get back in there?
No.
There isn't.
No, too good. I set it up too good.
Yeah.
Too smart.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, if you build your systems properly, this is no different than big business. We can go and I can sit there and mentor billionaires on building systems to where you don't have to use your brain no more. Building systems where they become instincts. That's all I've done. I've just created systems within the pro wrestling sports entertainment world. I treat it no differently than any CEO that's running any, major company. There's all these little things that have to happen. There's so many boxes to check constantly in this role. And thank God for the wise man. He does organize it and make it so much easier to handle. But it's just one of those things. You have to know what you're doing. And I put my time in all the way back to Colony Pizza, and we took our notes, we did our studies, we did our lab work, we made our little adjustments here and there. And when the time was right, gone. But no, I don't compete with anybody else. I'm just competing against myself. It's no different than Michael or Kobe or all the great. We're just going against ourselves. We're just trying to create a better version of myself. And if I can make a better version of myself, he has no choice but to get better. Big Jim's got to get better. Jay's, everybody, cream rises to the top. And I believe in that. It's survival of the fittest. I'm not truly manipulating, like we do on camera. I'm just better than everybody. And I believe it. And I walk every step with that type of conviction.
Hard to argue.
Gentlemen, big day. Obviously, the Rumble tonight. Another record-breaking event for the WWE. Thank you so much for taking the time with us this morning. Congratulations, and we can't wait to see what's next. Thank you so much.
Where's Bubba?
And for those of you that may not know, Paul Heyman is asking for Bubba Ray Dudley, one half of the Dudley brothers, and his long-lost brother, because them brothers sound exactly alike. Put a 1 in the chat if you think, put a 1 in the comment section if you think that Paul Heyman and Bubba Ray sound exactly alike. Am I bugging, or do they have the same exact cadence, the same exact everything in their voice? But in conclusion, guys, I want y'all to notice something here. Paul Heyman is openly admitting to manipulating Roman Reigns. This is why Roman Reigns is no fool. Roman Reigns has been manipulating everybody ever since he came back at SummerSlam and did what he did to Bray Wyatt. He been manipulating. He been playing chess. And Drew Mac has been on point. Drew Mac alluded to that 2 weeks ago when he was talking with CM Punk and Seth Rollins. He told everybody that Roman is playing chess while they playing checkers. Roman don't trust nobody, guys. Understand. Paul Heyman really don't trust nobody. Paul Heyman is just skating on by, just like he said. He going with the flow. He going where the money at. But there's no love there. You see now, him and CM Punk, they have a different type of bond. And I believe CM Punk favor is gonna rock the bloodline to its core. Because Roman is preparing now. Roman is preparing to do it without Paul Heyman. I need y'all to understand what's going on. Roman lost the Royal Rumble. He ain't going to win in the Elimination Chamber. And he's going to start doing new moves. He's going to start shedding people. Don't forget, we have Solo lurking around. Solo is going to apologize and once again acknowledge Roman Reigns. So be prepared to see Paul Heyman get dumped, and maybe we get Solo being Roman Reigns' wise man, Roman Reigns' henchman. Maybe Roman Reigns get rid of the wise man character overall, and he just have him and Solo looking out for him. But you guys, let me know what you think. But I definitely see ripples in Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman's character together. Their communication a little bit different. Go back to the War Games this year where Roman Reigns left the cage and he didn't really embrace Paul Heyman. He touched Paul Heyman's face. CM Punk embraced Paul Heyman and they talked about the favor. Roman just looked at Paul Heyman as if I pity the fool. But guys, y'all let me know what y'all think. Very interesting. We leading into WrestleMania, so these stories is gonna tie in, and it's gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be great. So let me know how you think. Also, hit that like button on your way out, subscribe, and you might want to check out the video that pop up on the screen, guys, just in case you missed it. I'll see you guys later.
This is a wreck. He's moving like an uncaged animal.
No lie, he's wild in there.